Hi guys, my name is Bhavani. I am from batch 17. I am doing my diploma in enforcement management. Today we are going to do a group presentation about the era of British in Malaya. So we got 7 of members in my group. First Bhavani, me, and let them introduce themselves to you.
Good morning to my respective lecturer and my dear friend.
Good morning to our respectable lecturer. My name is Naka Punithan and I am from batch 17. ID number is DEM03198084.
A very good afternoon, miss. I am Meshilan from DEM batch 17. Peace.
Good evening, my respective lecturer and my dear friends. My name is Sanjeev and I am batch 17, diploma in enforcement management.
Hi, my name is David.
Hi everyone, I'm Natya from batch 17 DEM 0319035, Diploma in Enforcement Management.
Good morning to my respective lecturer and my dear friends. Today I would like to talk about the history of British in Malaysia. Before the formation of Malayan Union in 1946, the territories were not placed under a single unified administration, with the exception of the immediate post-war period when a British military officer became the temporary administrator of Malaya. Instead, British Malaysia comprised the trade settlements, the Federated Malay States and the unfederated Malay States under British hegemony. Malaya was one of the most profitable territories of the empire, being the world's largest producer of tin and later rubber. During the Second World War, Japan ruled a part of Malaya as a single unit from Singapore. Nextly, Malayan Union was unpopular in 1948, was dissolved and replaced by the Federation of Malaya, which became fully independent on 31st August 1957. On 16 September 1963, the Federation along with North Borneo, which is Sabah, Sarawak and Singapore, formed the larger Federation of Malaysia. Thank you.
Naval operation in the Pacific Ocean. On 6 April 1945, the British aircraft carrier HMS Illustrious was taking part in operations to support American landings on the Japanese island of Okinawa when a Japanese kamikaze, meaning divine wind, pilot attacked aiming to ram his aircraft into the ship.
Okay, now I'm continuing my topic about the British fighting against Japanese in Malaya. On 6 August 1945, the Japanese city of Hiroshima was hit by an atomic bomb known as Little Boy. It killed more than 100,000 people in that city. On August 15, the Emperor Hirohito announced Japan was surrender. On 2 September 1945, a surrender document was signed by an American battleship in Tokyo.
Good afternoon, miss. I am Eshiran from DEM batch 17. Today I talk about the British fighting against the Communist Party of Malaysia. Okay, let's go, miss. From 20 December, the British military began to train party members in guerrilla warfare at the established 101 Special Training School at Singapore. About 165 MCP members were trained before the British defenders collapsed. These fighters sadly harmed and accused by the hard-pressed British, hurriedly dispersed and attempted to arrest the occupying army. And just before Singapore fell in the Japanese on 15 February 1942, the party began organized armed resistance in the state of Johor. Soon 4 armed groups which became regiments were formed, with 101 STS trainers serving and nuclear. In March, the force was dubbed the Malayan People's Anti-Japanese Army (MPAJA) and began sabotage and ambush against the Japanese. The Japanese responded with reprisal against Chinese civilians. This reprisal, coupled with the increased economic hardship, causes large number of nation Chinese to flee the cities. They become squatters at the forest margin, where they have become the main source of recruits, food.
Okay, just before Singapore fell to the Japanese on 15 February 1942. The party began organizing armed resistance in the state of Johor. Soon 4 armed groups, which became known the regiments, were formed, with 101 STS trained several as nuclei. In March, this force was dubbed the Malayan People Anti-Japanese Army (MPAJA) and began sabotage and ambushes against the Japanese. The Japanese responded with reprisals against Chinese civilians. These reprisals, coupled with increasing economic hardship, caused large numbers of Malayan Chinese to flee the cities. They became squatters at the forest margins, where they become the main source of recruits, food, and other assistance for the MPAJA. The MPAJA consolidated this support by providing protection.
Hi, my name is David. Today I am going to talk to you about British intelligence cycle. British intelligence cycle is typically idea of as having 5 steps. So the first step, requirements, will be identifying requirements, method defining those inquiries to which British intelligence is predicted to make a contribution, and also main specification, the collection of certain types of British intelligence. So the impulse is to say that coverage areas at British intelligence cycle will be fact, intelligence skills are limited, priorities must be set. And the second British intelligence step is collection as means wants, necessities and priorities were installed. The British intelligence is a must. Some requirements as precious varieties of collection, and some may additionally require certain kinds of collections. Making this decision is a key trouble, and the query of the way grade set deal can or need to be accumulated to fulfill every requirement. And the third British intelligence step is processing and exploitation, as means processing and exploitations. Collection produces information which must be undergo processing and exploitation before it can be regarded as intelligence and given to analysis. Conversion includes translation, decryption, and interpretation. And the third is analysis and production, consists of the mixing, evaluation, and analysis of the available records. And the instruction of intelligent products, which includes quick, advanced, occasion-oriented reports. The last British intelligence step is dissemination and conservation of the process. Dissemination, or the technique of moving intelligence from producer to customers, means essentially standardized with intent behind assumed in the 5-step system. Thank you.
Today, I'm going to explain about recommendation British to Malaya. Before British entered the Malaya has not have any facilities to make easy to people. Once British enter the Malaya, they get all the facilities to make people easier. Before British entered the Malaya did not have any facilities like no school for children, there is no such a proper hospitality, and no such a good medicine, and also there is no roads to or way to go from here to there. So once the British enter in the Malaya, the British has arranged them all the facilities for Malaya. So the example of facilities are British has built school for children. They built hospitalities for the patient who are very in emergency. They can see a good doctor in a hospital in a good way. They also build roads and they give them more facilities to them. So as a people, as a person, I also would explain that if British did not enter into the Malaya is not upgrade with any new things. If you are a Malayan people, what would you do if British didn't enter? They didn't give any facilities. So I would like to explain that. Maybe if the British didn't enter into Malaya, the Malaya people can make their own idea and build up with or improve Malaya with their ideas, make Malaya into a double facility and help each other to build or make Malaya become a good country. And yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
As a conclusion, first we must not to be quick to trust any external forces to gain our independence. We must try our best to gain our own independence, not trust others. Okay. Next, we must need to emulate the soldiers, especially the Japanese soldiers who are so obedient to their king. Next, we must need to unite against the people who want to control our country. Next will be we do not need any outsiders to help us. And the last one, the knowledgeable society can lead the country. So we must learn to increase our knowledge about our country. That's all. Thank you.